I met a lot of interesting women in prison. When I first got to the prison in Dublin, California, I had a roommate. Her name was Alondra. She was from Mexico and just this very wholesome, sweet girl, which you might think is crazy, but it's absolutely the truth. And I got to know her and her story, and she told me that her mother had married into the cartel young and had been shot by her husband. She'd survived it, but her two daughters, so Alondra and her sister, were both married into the cartel when they were 14 years old. She said, we both had children, and my sister's husband was murdered by a rival cartel. And she said, my sister escaped to Canada with her daughter, and I tried to escape, but my husband, who was with the cartel, found out, and she said, I thought he would kill me, but he just locked me up for a while. And she goes, and then I again snuck out, but this time I got out of Canada with my daughter. She said, out of Mexico. She said, I moved to Canada. We were both working hard. I was learning English, and one day I got pulled over. And she said, I thought that, they would just check my passport or whatever, but that's not what happened. She said they actually extradited me. I was taken from my daughter. Luckily, my sister came and picked up my daughter, and I was taken to the United States. And I was charged with a very large storage unit full of drugs. She said, my husband, who was in the cartel, had this large storage unit, but they couldn't get to him. And because they had a phone that attached me to him, a phone call, they charged me with a conspiracy for those drugs. She said, I spent 3 years in the county jail saying, please, I can't. I just want to go back to my daughter. I will testify against him. But they said that, that was what the evidence they had was of her. And so they just made the case. Her attorney told her that she would get life if she didn't plead. And so she ended up pleading to a 15-year prison sentence. I met her when she'd done about 3 years in county and a year in the prison. And I don't know what happened to Alondra, but I do, because I left not long after we talked. But one day I was sitting in the day room and she walked over and she goes, Miss Portia, they killed my husband, Alejandro. A rival cartel killed my husband. She goes, now I'm safe. Now I can go home.